The double erasure, first by the Habesha elite, then reinforced by European colonial scholarship. This is where Axum's true multi-layered history was buried and rebranded. Two-layer erasure of Kunama history. Layer 1, Habesha appropriation and myth-making. When Axumite rulers adopted Christianity in the 4th century, King Ezana's conversion, they needed a new origin story that would give them divine legitimacy, separate them from the pagan populations around them, including Kunama, Agau, Beja, Saho, etc. How they erased the Queen of Sheba, Makeda. Myth. They rewrote origins to say Ethiopia's kings descend from Solomon, Israel, plus Sheba, Axum. This shifted the focus from indigenous African ancestors to biblical genealogy. Demonization of indigenous beliefs, Kunama rituals, ancestor shrines, stone worship, nature rites were labeled Fetari, pagan. Ancestors became evil spirits, while only Christian saints were honored. Land seizure. The highlands around Axum, once shared with Kunama and Agau, became imperial holy land under the new Christian empire. Chronicles and church writings. Monks kept written records glorifying kings as children of Solomon, while oral histories of indigenous groups were excluded. Result: by the medieval period, Axum was remembered only as Habesha Christian, not as the multi-ethnic cradle it really was. Layer 2. European colonial reinforcement. When Europeans entered the Horn, 1800s to 1900s, they brought their own biases. They wanted to find a Christian kingdom in Africa that linked back to the Bible. Axum, with its stele and Christian churches, was the perfect candidate. How they reinforced erasure. Selective archaeology. European archaeologists studied the churches and inscriptions of Axum, not the surrounding indigenous shrines and oral histories. The stelae were interpreted as royal monuments only, ignoring their ancestral symbolism. Racial framing. Europeans argued Habesha were closer to Semites, Arabs, than to other Africans. Indigenous groups like the Kunama were dismissed as primitive and unrelated to Axum's greatness. Colonial alliance. Italians, British, and others aligned with Habesha rulers to legitimize empire, treating Ethiopia as an ancient Christian Semite civilization, not an African indigenous one. Textbook history. Global narratives, still today in schools, present Axum as the Habesha origin kingdom, skipping over indigenous African contributions. Result: a double colonization of memory, erased first by Habesha royal theology, then cemented by European colonial science. The hidden truth. The stele, Axum's oldest symbols, carry African ancestral traditions that predate Habesha dominance. The Solomonic myth replaced indigenous ancestry with a biblical foreign lineage. European colonialism amplified this by labeling Habesha as civilized Semites and Kunama as primitive Africans. Thus, Kunama history became a ghost presence, erased from Axum even though their spirit is in the stones.
Walk this journey with me. Like and subscribe, not for numbers, but for remembrance. Let your ancestors know you have seen their greatness. Let them feel your footsteps walking in theirs. May they guide you, protect you, and keep you in harmony with the earth, the sky, and all living things.